What patch is this? Oh, wait, that's another. Oh, we have to go over the patch notes. I almost forgot. Okay, let's do the patch notes. What's new? Patch notes. Yeah, we're 25.17. Okay, your fortune looks good thanks to patch 25.17. Cool. I like the emoji. That's funny. This is from Riot Rairu and Riot Saker. All right, welcome to season 3. This patch, we've got a lot of updates across the game, such as the return to the regular Summoner's Rift map for season 3. Doombots comes out of retirement. Xin Xiao gets a major glow up, a new battle pass, improvements to game info tracking like jungle timers, and a handful of quality of life and bug fixes. We've also got balance changes for ARAM and a fame reset for Arena. This is our second patch in a row aimed at adding new tools to play with and master. We're introducing Vayne and Set in the jungle. AP Aurelia. Wait, is that why Double is playing jungle? No way. It's because of Vayne's in the. Nah. AP Aurelia, Lane Kane, and buffing some weak items to make you rethink your AD Assassin and AP Haste builds. We've also got some small scale balance updates, largely following up on other recent changes. Looking for more information on all things League of Legends? Check out our community run wiki here and here. You guys want the links for this? Here it is. Here's the wiki if any of y'all want to check it out. It's community run. Chat on Discord. I might check that out. We might check that out later, chat. I mean, like, we might as well. I might as well join their Discord. Hold on. If it's community run. Sure. Let's, okay. Yeah. Cool. All right, we're in. Make sure we mute this thing, though. Notification settings, mute. Yep. Oh, cool. All right, welcome bot got us. Welcome then. All right, let's see what we got. Patch highlights. So this is 25.17. This is the Visions of the Fallen Garens, Visions of the Fallen Tryndamere, Arcana Jhin, Arcana Lulu. We have an Elderwood Alistar and Prestige Visions of the Fallen J4. Going to be available today. Season 3 is here. It's here, y'all. We got Battle Pass rewards, exclusive skins. Seems a little bit hastily slapped together. That's okay. I mean, a little bit. It looks nice, though. I mean, it looks nice. Alongside this update, we have a brand new seasonal battle pass. Check it out. We have this kind of like deep hunter forest screen. I like it. Check it out for a look like Arcana Lulu, Arcana Jhin. You have a lot of skins. Yeah, we got a lot of skins. A lot of repeating missions and yada yada. So if you haven't played in a while, there's a lot of blue essence that you can start unlocking and a lot of stuff that's going to help you get all sorts of goodies from champs to whatever you still need if you don't have everything unlocked yet, or just save up some blue essence for the Emporium. I'm up to 125k. That's a lot, but not as much as a lot of people have. Okay, so we have the season 3 ranked that's beginning. So I guess season 2 is over. Season 3 ranks time will start August 27th, similar to season 1 to season 2 transition. Players ranked LP progression won't be reset, but the victorious mission to get victorious skin will be reset. Okay. So there's another victorious skin, I guess, that we're working towards now. Or is it the same one from last time? I don't know. Ranked queues will be disabled during the ranked season downtime, which will be approximately 12 hours. End of ranked season 2 rewards will be distributed several days after the season start. So, okay. I'm not sure if ranked is even up. All right, Atacon's now armed. You'll notice that this patch, Atacon has a weapon, a totally normal weapon. Mechanically, we're not making any changes. It's just a visual change. But I see lore fans are reading here for clues on what this means. Maybe he just felt like it, okay? Honestly, yeah, I was looking for an Easter egg here. I was like, oh, what does it mean? What kind of weapon is it? Does he have a weapon? Why does he have a weapon though? What does this mean? He just felt like it, dude. That's fair. All right. Xin Shao visual update is here with updated models, animations, ability icons, voiceover, voice effects, sound effects, splashes, skins. But similar to what we've done in the past with some visual updates for champions, Jin Shao's Commando and Imperial skins are getting a price increase from 520 to 750. Like, really, you need that extra 100 RP to reflect the higher quality bar. It's really right. Like, you guys needed that extra fucking like couple pennies of RP or whatever, a couple like $1 of RP. All right, whatever. No, it's there. It's true, man. I mean, they put a lot of employees put a lot of work into not only the original Zen Shao concept and the reworks, but now this visual update, and it costs an extra 230 RP actually. So that's just the way it is. And if you don't own these skins, then you'll be able to purchase them at a cheaper price before the visual update goes live tomorrow. So grab them while you can. So at least they'll let you know, like, hey, we're about to increase the prices of these. So go ahead and, but like, they're like, no one's gonna read this shit. Additionally, but the thing is, like later, it's like insurance because like later for someone to be like, they increased the prices. It's like, yeah, but we told you guys were gonna do this, so you just missed out. Haha, loser. Like you can't do it after the fact. So additionally, we've unvaulted his skins, blah blah blah. So if you're missing, yeah, just grab them. The next two patches, keep an eye out. If you're really into Zen Shao, you're planning on getting these skins or something, you're on like a budget. There you go. That's pretty nice of them. Zen Shao's update and champion pages on Universe. So with his update in 2517, we're going to be updating how his lore is presented on his Universe page to best represent where things currently stand and exist for him and our seasonal stories at the time of its release. This will cover the year so far and his experiences through the season and their various motion comics, the season 2. So there's a lot of lore. There's a lot of lore, and Zen Shao's update and his champion pages are gonna reflect some of that because Zen Shao's starting to be like kind of a big player and a lot of what's happening to kind of develop the story. Whereas in the past, he always felt like more of a background kind of character that was almost overlooked after his release for like many years. So it's nice that Zen Shao is getting his spot in the lore and the. So as we move forward with the seasons, we're looking as ways to curate or reflect champions' updated lore with the universe pages. Yeah, because they're kind of always, I guess buttoning up little things here, tying little knots there, creating little flourishes there, having different versions here, and there's a lot of crisscrossing that's always happened. And it started out very broad, and they're starting to like weave together this amazing universe, and it's even cinematic now. With patch 25.17, our newest, well, not really new, but kind of new game mode will be now available. Doombots is returning with a fresh coat of paint and some major updates under the hood. So yeah, Doombots is back. It's kind of like it used to be, but a lot different. It's a PvE game mode that's pitting you and four other teammates against Vagar and his army of overpowered, busted as heck bots. Your goal is to survive against the bots for 15 minutes. Okay, so I was like wondering what the timer was because we were getting close to 10 minutes. And I was wondering, is it like 12 minutes? I don't know. 15 minutes is a long time. You got to play really well. And then if you make it to 15 minutes, then you get to take on Vagar while protecting the Nexus. If you haven't played since the last time it came, it's got a new boss, new bots, new curses. Yeah, their spells were doing new things, and there's these Trials of Doom. So new to this run of Doombots are Trials of Doom. Trials of Doom are versions of Doombots where we add or change core components of the game to create specific challenges that you have to overcome in order to defeat Vagar. The first 3 patches in Doombots will run or will all activate a different Trial of Doom. In the last patch, all 3 trials will be reactivated, so you have one last chance to get those wins. If you can defeat all of Vagar's trials, you'll earn the title. Definitely not a bot, which we really want, so we'll see you there. Definitely not a bot. That's a pretty good title. Ooh, oh man. We gotta get this challenge. I'm gonna have to grind really hard to get it though. I feel like working for that title might be like an actual grind in and of itself. Like we could probably make multiple hours of footage trying to get the stupid title. All right, then we also have Vagar's Evil. So it's a different one. The first trial of Doom is Vagar's Evil, and in this trial, every Doombot receives Vagar's passive, Phenomenal Evil. This means that every time they hit you with a spell, they gain adaptive force. So like his Q, whenever his Q lands, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Additionally, curses spells cast by Vagar that normally turn on and off during the game will never turn off. Instead, by 15 minutes, you'll have 10 different curses active to get those dancing shoes on. It's not all unfair, though. To give you a chance, we've given you a whole heap of item ability haste, and we added an extra prismatic item to the shop, Demon King's Crown. So there's the Demon King's Crown. Put together your best team, pick your strats, and try to overcome Vagar's Evil. I think that like what I noticed from this is you definitely need a team that's going to be like working well together for the most part. Synergy between your champs to cheese the enemy team is going to net you a lot of kills, whether you're using high damage in CC or like two. Like I think like if you had like a 3-man squad, seemed like really the best. And like other ones are just like literally like maybe wave clear is what I would do if I had 4 people or 5 people to kind of puppeteer and marionette around. It would be yeah, so like 2 kind of solid wave clear, and then like 1 CC setup like Alistar like I had, and then like 2 kind of carries. Wait, does that make sense? That's it. Yeah, like wave clear and carry will be like essentially you would want something like, and then 3 of them mostly that walk around together, and then 2 on the sides, just wave clearing. Okay, so there's some new stuff though. Okay, apart from Doombots, back in the real world, back in the actual competitive integrity of this video game, there's a lot of improvements that are happening and changes. Some of them we're still going to see how they influence and level the playing field between quote unquote like low elo players and what is this like for instance they're adding WSAD WSAD keys into kiting into the game, which is going to completely supposedly not screw up high level ranked play, but already we're seeing videos come out of players kiting and doing a lot of weird stuff, which of course you've always seen. Once you get like a certain champions get enough move speed at certain levels of the game, they're able to run around and kite and do pretty crazy shit, even with a mouse. But yeah, I think that now that players are playing with their arrow keys, they're finding that they're able to kite better than they thought they were. So we'll see how that stuff actually influences the game. But more changes than just that. We also have some stuff like some jungle timers that is really kind of, I think, geared at listening to and implementing stuff that the kind of larger community is doing, where you have some of these third-party applications that players are using to help track things in the jungle. And so Riot is taking some of these tools and saying, well, hey, we can do it better. If people are using this anyways, we'll just go ahead and put it in our game. And instead of trying to like ban it or make jurisdiction on it, if players are going to use it, then yeah. And so the big one is this is what it's about to talk about. So let's see what they have to say. League's been around for a while now, And with that comes a thriving app ecosystem. These provide a lot of value to folks who download them by helping players find builds and runes, showing them performance information, scouting your team or opponents, or in-game features like jungle timers, summer spell tracking, and more. Yeah, I remember when some of these first started dropping. Over time, we've seen your feedback around how some of these features don't feel fair when only some players have access to them, and we agree. The competitive integrity of League is critically important to us, and we want to preserve it. We've heard how useful some of these features have been to many of you. In order to get the best of both worlds, we're going to be updating our third-party app policy and restricting certain features from being allowed while also building other features into the game so that all players have fair access to them. So yeah, basically give the tools to everyone. If some players are going to use these crazy ways to break the game, and it doesn't really break the game, it honestly makes it, but it kind of does. It kind of breaks the integrity of if this guy's using a jungle timer or whatever, and the other players on the other team's jungler isn't, he has slight disadvantage. So just give both of them the timers. Now, if one player, one jungler chooses not to acknowledge them or use them, that's a whole other story altogether. So minimap jungle timers, back in the day, League didn't have any objective timers or global announcements. I remember this. The only way that you'd know someone took dragon is if you saw it happen or you stumbled on an empty pit. Along the way, we added timers on the tab screen to encourage coordination in fights around these objectives, which has led to some of League's most exciting moments. Fast forward to today, minimap timers are one of the most commonly used third-party features, so we decided to take a hard look at providing that info. In order to keep the default minimap clean and readable for all players, we've got some options for you. Well, two, basic and advanced. The basic view provides full timers for epic camps, but uses the current hourglass icons for other camps displayed at 30 and 10 seconds before spawn. However, while pressing tab, you'll see timers for all the camps, giving the best of both worlds to those who want a minimal default state, but more info with just a single button press. So basically, it gives you what you need to know in basic terms, and if you need more, you hold tab, and it's going to show you exact timers for all the camps. So the advanced view simply displays timers for all camps. You can find this option in the interface section of the settings menu. So to ensure the minimap stays readable and the most actionable camps stand out, timers get visually louder the closer the objective is to spawning. It's our hope that with this change, you'll spend more headspace checking lanes, pathing with intent, and planning ahead for the next major objective instead of tracking camp respawns. It should level the playing field and create more coordination around objectives while also making the jungle role less daunting. So they added jungle timers to minimap. Basic view displays epic camp timers. All other camps are visible while pressing tab. Advanced view will display all the camps at all the times. So that's pretty simple. I'm glad that a very comprehensive way to address the problem, and it wasn't really a problem, but addressing kind of some concerns and issues, I guess, between third-party apps while also just making the game better and more fair. So it's going to help. Honestly, I want my jungler hopefully will use the advanced. I don't know if I want him to use the advanced view. I don't know if my jungler is smart enough to use advanced view. Too much information for him to juggle. Because I'm gonna be I'm my own jungler because we might be playing jungle. I kind of want to check these timers out. All right, so also death recap and summoner spell tracking. Now this is kind of a big one. Pro play has always I remember back in the day, usually it fell on the support because a lot of players didn't want to have to use the mental capacity to do all of it, so they would put it all into the support or essentially anyone that saw it happen. Sometimes the jungler early on could time flashes and stuff like this, and someone would just copy paste them and put them in the chat. So all the players, if they needed to, could just hit enter and then look and see, oh, when's this? cooldown or whatever. All right. So earlier this year, we worked with third-party ad developers to remove information about enemy ultimate cooldowns because we believe that there's a lot of skill in tracking key abilities. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think that like pro play has always kind of, and just in any level of play, honestly, knowing that your enemy does not have their R or a key ability has been the kind of hallmark sign for now. It's like time to go. Like now we can engage on them, or let's try to force this objective while we have this window of opportunity. And for sure. So it can be the difference between knowing your gank will 100% succeed versus your opponent's making a sick, unexpected 1v2 flash outplay. So like, yeah, like let's say you know that Shen ult is down because you just know the exact timing for it. You know it's gonna be down for another 15 seconds, 20 seconds. You can gank bot lane, but if you try to tower dive them with Shen R, you're gonna just die. Something like this. And that uncertainty keeps the game interesting. I agree. We're going to take a similar approach here. Because, like, if everyone knows when their cooldowns are, especially at higher level play, if everyone 1000% always knows all the cooldowns, they can easily just hella punish certain champions. Like, let's say, like, Ari's R is down, and everyone knows it. Obviously, they probably do anyways. Because, like, the idea with high level ganking a lot of times is you do a gank to blow a cooldown and then you return with the cooldown down, whether it's a flash or an R or whatever it is that you scare out of them. Sometimes it's even as little as you try to get them to trade really heavily and bait out the like the Vladimir pool of blood is a good one. So like Vladimir's will often just use pool of blood to survive anything, but if you can pretend to bait out an aggressive trade to get him to use it, because you think it's going to go all in, and then you back out, and then the jungler comes in and actually kills him, right? Once that's down. So stuff like this, or depending on what the R is, it's really going to depend on the champion. There's a lot of variables in this game. But anyways, with that in mind, we're going to be making some improvements to communicating ults and spells that were recently used to aid in team coordination and planning. So when Diana pops everything to kill you, you'll see those spells displayed in Death Recap, and you can ping them right there without opening the scoreboard. Even non-damaging spells like Flash and Teleport, which we've never done before, will now be displayed. So like, yeah, the game records all the events and like a timeline, probably Ledger, and they're starting to use some of that to display some of that as well. In chat, your ping will show a definitive Diana used flash. And if you ping it 3 times while looking in the mirror, maybe your jungle will pay her a visit before she backs. That's so funny. Yeah, you gotta do some crazy superstitious shit just to get your jungler to actually. That's so funny, dude. Whoever wrote this did a really good job. All right, even better, if you're playing Yorick top and you pan your camera down to watch some cinema bot lane, you can ping a spell from the scoreboard within 15 seconds of it being used and get the same result. Jinx use flash. Okay. That's pretty cool. They're encouraging pings of stuff to actually add. I think I use my pings in game chat to kind of add flavor to what's going on. You know, I'll ping Conqueror a bunch or something, or I have a whole different language that I've developed with my pings because I don't chat. I don't actually type in game anymore. So I've learned to communicate with pings just good enough. Okay. Champions. Gwen's base armor has decreased. Attack speed growth increased. R slow decrease. Okay. Gwen is still very powerful in the hands of experts like me, especially pros. After her reshape in 15.6, I would be an expert. I'm not a pro, but I am an expert. While Gwen players have enjoyed her newfound agency in lane, we want to ensure she has some weak matchups and can't simply flip the script at level 6 with a guaranteed chase down. We're delivering some compensation so as not to pull too much power out of her kit. Okay, so she's basically like her already bad matchups, stuff like Jax, any AD fighter, and then the slow. Ooh. I don't know how I feel about it about those. Because honestly, her first slow never really felt that strong anyway. Wait, it was always 60%? Every slow was the same? I thought it was just okay, so the slows are always the same, but the damage is the thing that ramps up. Interesting. All right, so Aurelia AP ratio increased. AP Aurelia is currently not viable or picked at all. So we're letting this blade dance. I don't know. Every time I say Aurelia, my southern accent comes out, y'all. Come on now. Come on, somebody. Hit that follow button. We're going through all of these patch notes. If you're lurking and you're finding out something new, a great way that you can show support for free, y'all, is hitting that follow button. We're also trying to reach our subscription goal of 50, and we're only 1/10 of the way there. But you can help make it happen. You can help grow our community with just donating getting some subscriptions, some subs to some of these plebs that are lurking. Okay. Oh, Cassidy, Q damage increased, E damage increased. Let's go. He's been a bit stagnant and below where we'd like to be. Yeah. Continue to enhance some of his late game damage output. I mean, he's always had I used to love playing Cassidy mid. This is one of my favorite mid laners to play. I just press all my buttons and kill the ADC. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I got pretty good at him. Because I learned how to auto reset actually from playing Cassidy mid. Before I played Cassidy mid, I literally had no clue how to auto reset until I did like an auto and W to get last hits and stuff. I was like, oh. So when I first started getting like a little less worse at the game. All right, Cogmaw, Q damage increased, W damage increased, R damage increased at all at higher ranks. Not all ranks, higher ranks. Seasons ago, the Mouth of the Abyss was once a viable and common mid lane poke champion who had late game powerhouse identity. He's not too far off from it these days, so we're looking to give him a bit of power to enable it again and get people to try it out without making bot lane shift to AP for trivial wave clear. Okay. Yeah, I think they're trying to edge a little bit of AP ratios into ADCs because they're trying to say, maybe we can have some hybridization going on. But once there's going to be an item that, like, and it kind of does happen, right? Where you have Nashor's Tooth, it's very strong on an AP Bruiser. And can also like you build like Nashers on like an ADC, but like you throw a little spice into the ADC build, which adds a little bit of identity to your ADCs. So and they feel a little different when you're building like a Nashor's Tooth, and they're also synergizing with some of these other AP-ish items, AP-ish I say, because they're kind of like a hybrid item like Rage Blade, that has AP and AD, and a lot of on hit. Okay, Misfortune Pacey decreased. Made her boobas bigger. Made her boobas bigger. Based. Added 2 boobas. 1 for each booba. If only there's a word to describe Misfortune's current state. Yeah. Can't really think of one. She's like fucking insane laugh. I can't even do it. Anyway, we're buffing her this patch to bring her up to pace with the rest of the pack. Giving her 2 boobas back. Nyla? Damage to monsters? Oh, God. 100%. Nile will not become a viable jungler with this change, but the current restriction around how little splash damage she deals to jungle monsters just isn't needed. Okay. Bullshit. I don't fucking believe them. She's going to be a jungler. Someone's going to read that verbatim and say, bullshit, I'm playing jungle with her and lock in Nyla jungle. And the scary thing is there's like 50-50 coin flip chance they might actually be right. Depending on who it is playing jungle with her and what kind of games they get. All right, attack speed growth increase. I think that there's like some shit in League, y'all, that's just like literally like fucking just like dumb blind luck. Like, what if like the Callista, like what if like Callista's really not even that broken? She just got like super lucky, like one MSI or something, and then all of a sudden the idea around the champion becomes bigger than what's actually happening, so that players are scared, so they just ban it every game, but it's like not even that strong. You know what I mean? Like with the way it's shifted around, there's all sorts of things like that. And then there's probably also been things where it's like there's this like pro player or something that's like been playing solo queue, really likes this one champion a bunch one season, and like the company's like, we know this guy's been playing this weird ass pick. Let's give him. You know what? Let's let this be his season. And so at least for half of the season, they just let it. They just let him go. Sorry, I don't know why I keep hitting that screen. So just for half the season, they like let it go unchecked, and then like right before like fucking Worlds, they just nerf the shit out of it for no reason. I bet they do stuff like that all the time. But they've done it so much they don't even know what to do anymore. What do y'all think? Singed Q damage per application decreased. Singed has underwent several changes last patch that made red side Singed deal his first tick of damage instantly instead of 0.25 seconds. Dude, Singed mains are crazy about this shit. Late, and made blue side Singed refresh his poison much more reliably. The net result of these changes is that in almost all cases, Singed players are dealing substantially more damage in almost all contexts. We're making some under the hood changes, the poison duration, and oh god, good luck Singed players. I don't know, y'all are gonna have to try this guy out and let us know how he's working. It's supposed to be better and more balanced now, but they probably just broke something else. You know what? You want to play someone in the jungle? Fucking play Singed. Timo, mushroom and eggs and other objects are now more visible. Cool. So there's a small visual change to Timo traps, making them easier to pick out in the world. Still turn invisible, work mechanically identically as before. They're just more opaque, so you can tell what it is right before it blows up in your face. Okay. So here we go. This is the big one. Vayne. Q monster damage increased. Vayne jungle is a lot closer to viable than people realize, but many players completely miss the mark on ability orders. If you want to play Vayne jungle, start Silver Bolts, then max your Thumble. Have fun. So, single target damage is where Vayne excels. Q will pay off better in one situation, and that is the CDR it provides and damage, I guess, but mostly the CDR for when you get your R. So her ultimate ability works in concert with her tumble, her Q ability. So the more points you have in Q before level 6, the more, I think it still works this way, at least it used to. I'm pretty sure that reduces the cooldown of your Q, which gives you more mobility, more attack damage reset. So you can still get some more AD out of it because technically you are getting a bigger chunk damage with your Q and some attack damage reset. I think the way it used to be, and even in lane, oftentimes you would max W first because the single target damage for a 3-shot is just absurd. And it's pretty easy to do with an auto Q, auto, something like this. Or like an auto Q, something like that. If you can manage to get 2 autos off and then just Q for the last one, it's pretty easy to do. However you want to do it, get your 3 autos on a single target and condemn them first if you can, obviously. But yeah, the main thing I guess I'm blathering about is Q. For clearing jungle camps, no. It's not going to give you nearly as much damage as a few points in W will, because that's going to be your HP shred, and that's what they're also buffing. So that's what you have to do if you want to notice the difference in the jungle. And this is mostly going to help your clear route on blue buff side. Reason being, you don't have those overwhelming numbers of of enemies like the Raptor Camp or the Infinite Golems. Instead, well, red buff is fine. That's fine. That's just single target. But what you have on blue side is you have your blue, you have Gromp, and Gromp is single target, and the wolves are fucking easy as hell. Wolves are the easiest camp to clear at all. So if you're really fucked and you get a late jungle start your wolf camp. If you need to get a early level 2. It's literally like your easiest. But it spawns later than the others to kind of balance that out. Otherwise, people would abuse it. But yeah, so silver bolts, like I said, blue side's going to be your best friend. You're going to start blue buff, go Gromp, and Wolf Camp, get your level 3, and then deal with Raptors. It's going to be annoying for Vayne. Raptors is going to be very annoying for Vayne. It's annoying for any ADC. But as long as you kite it out, your jungle pet will actually do a lot to help you. Once you're level 3, it'll be really nice. I would say put 2 points into W and full farm out your full clear for level 4. And don't even get your condemn at all. Because it's not going to help you that much, I don't think. I think the W, especially with this 2, probably would help more. But maybe, I don't know, maybe condemn's okay. Maybe you condemn the red buff against the wall. Yeah, the chunk damage from condemn also is really nice if you collide. So condemn might actually be the way. I would have to test it. All right, Yunara, we got several bugs that have been fixed. As players have gotten better at her, Yunara has risen to be one of the most potent ADCs in the game. We've got several bug fixes this patch that we expect will nerf her popular Kraken Hurricane build, but we'll continue to keep an eye on her performance metrics to see how she lands after these changes. So Q, Cultivation of Spirit. There's been a lot of bugs with what's going on with her Q. Sometimes they were bouncing and getting extra stacks. But sometimes they're supposed to be getting a bunch of stacks. And the way it's interacting with Runehead's Hurricane and the bouncing is weird. Okay. We're changing some lethality items. We're making them cheaper. So one of the weakest lethality items, Axiom Arc, is getting a little cheaper. People might use it more. Horizon Focus continues to be, again, really unpopular for whatever reason, because there's just too many other options that compete with it right now. So they're buffing the AP a little bit and trying to make its utility. Because the thing is like Horizon Focus is basically like you find one enemy and it's supposed to light up all the others, which like for low elo solo queue games, I don't know. Spotting out the whole enemy team like that, especially late game, might not be overstated. Like you hit some guy in a bush and then you see everyone else where their locations are. That information could be huge. But as far as right now, it's just not popular. Because pound for pound, it doesn't compete with the others. Now they're increasing AP and they're actually making it a little cheaper. Profane Hydra as well is a weak assassin item. Also, they're going to make it a lot cheaper, and but they're also reducing its power a little for the price cut. What else we got? So updates to Arena's reward track. If you guys do arena stuff, I might have to start doing this. Ban phase has been merged with the picking phase, so kind of speeds it up a little. Okay, I got some rerolled stuff. ARAM balance changes. So Bilgewater, they changed the speed of the cannons. Okay, changed some of the special stuff for. Whoa, the Q bonus AD ratio for Kai'Sa has been buffed. Okay. All right, returning Sanctum items. So we're exploring bringing back past mythic variants, starting with Admiral Battle Bunny Misfortune and aligning them with the current EMV Sanctum format. So they're bringing back some of these ancient kind of cool skins for a gacha. Since we announced Doombots will be returning, we've seen some players of you examine. Some of you players, we've seen some of you players examine the footage really closely and notice some are sporting some vaulted skins. There's a lot of sums in this sentence. Okay, this part needs a fucking edit, bro. There's a rewrite on this one. But so they're adding. We've seen the asks for these skins. So basically, they came through at the last minute, regardless of the fucking syntax of the sentence. I almost said context. The syntax of this sentence, this leaves a little bit to be desired. I think AI Doombots can maybe write it better. I'm not even kidding. It's really nice that they put this in at the last second because they've looked at some of these skins that y'all have been wanting to have unvaulted, and they're celebrating Doombots returning, so it's just the perfect time. They will be bringing back Zombie Slayer Jinx, which is one of my favorite Jinx skins. It's the one that I should have been using more of. Underworld Wukong, which is a cool one. Reaper Soraka, Zombie Brand, which is super one of the best brand skins ever, and then Little Demon Tristana, very cool skin. We're also working on adding some of the special Doombots chromas since what you see on the bots currently isn't available. So we got Zombie Slayer Jinx is getting chromas in the Mythic shop. Likely 2518. Okay. I'm going to have to save up some more Mythic Essence because we will be getting chromas for Jinx. And I hope we get a red and white chroma. And also a seafoam green one. That kind of looks like the, oh my God, like that one, the latest Jinx skin that was so cool from Arcane. I really like that color scheme. Hopefully we'll get some really cool chroma color schemes. I'm excited about that. All right. And here's the Prestige skins that are upcoming. We got the Prestige Visions of the Fallen J4. This cool red white skin themes. Yeah. Visions of the Fallen Tryndamere, Visions of the Fallen Garen, Elderwood Alistar looks really cool. And I'm really looking forward to the Arcana stuff as well. It's very Jester kind of cinema, happy, sad. Red, white, like everything about the Arcana skin line looks really cool to me. So yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna pretty much wrap up the what you call it. That's gonna wrap up the whatchamacallit. That's gonna wrap up the patch notes. I will be right back and let's play some League of Legends, y'all. Patch notes. What time is it? Someone clip. We're gonna have to clip all of this. 4:29. Patch notes for 29 was the end. Probably do like 4 to 4:29, I guess. What is today? The 27th, 28th, 27th, 27, and do patch notes or what is the patch? One more time. To scroll all the way to the top. 2517.